Hi there, everyone. How you doing? Jeff C. here. Sunday, October the 12th. I, of course, have been going on about this green, this color coding, the whole psychological, um, mind fuck that they're doing to everyone with Ebola. Of course, the Ted, the character of Thomas Eric Duncan, and then all the employees, and then all the images in the media always show somebody in a green shirt. It's all the time. This is how they're doing it. And this is courtesy of my good friends at Able Danger who put this together. But, I'm pretty sure I've shown this one before too. First healthy volunteers injected with experimental GMO Ebola vaccine. Of course, this is off the examiner.com in the section called Life Green, Green Living. Green Living. Natural Health Ebola vaccines. Go figure. And she just happens to be wearing the same color shirt that they all wear in every single one of these. And of course, they're using the green theme to sell it to you that it's we've got this thing, we're going to develop it, we're going to ship it out to you and help you turn into a perfect zombie. So all the actors, of course, I've been showing this. This is a quick little clip I'm going to show here of Louis Gossett Jr. here in his green, of course, programming you about how horrible Ebola is.
The worst Ebola virus outbreak in history has taken the lives of hundreds of West Africans and is striking fear around the world.
Yeah, I guess when you can no longer get real acting jobs, it's good to go into propaganda. Of course, Hollywood is nothing but propaganda as well. So now, of course, the news coming across that Texas health worker contracts Ebola after breach of protocol. That's it, right? Breach of protocol. They set these things up perfectly. 100% it's a hoax because this person got the Ebola because this nurse was treating Ted, right? Thomas Eric Duncan. And it's just laughable, is it not? When we think about the mind control that they're using, the color themes, the names, right? It's all a long-term plan. All these psychopaths here, these just subhuman monsters who have been behind this whole psychological thing. I've been planning this thing for years, decades, really. And that's why I've been showing all this green theme and everything all over the place, right? Trying to put the fear, and of course the zombies, everything links up with zombies as well, right? The zombie apocalypse, and it's all green there as well. So looking at this article here, somebody told me about this. I can't remember who, but of course they're trying to program you that this thing is, likely what they want to eventually do is say it's airborne or you can get it any which way and it's terrible and people are getting it. And of course, the people that get it are fictional people. They either don't exist or they're playing their characters. But guess what they did? They put a barrel, a toxic barrel, outside the home here. Biohazard, right? That's supposed to, convince the people driving by or walking their dog that something horrible is going on in this home here. Right? And if they didn't think they got it enough, they show it again. Of course, the New York Post is just absolute trash. They all are. The Dallas police, right? There's the home. There's the toxic home of the fake Ebola victim. And I'm sure the fat man will go on about it and tell you about how horrible it is and how the CDC is fucking everything up and that they need to do more, of course, because that's the fat man's purpose. He is 100% disinfo. So, anyways, CNN, of course, they would have a big update on the second victim. In fact, this is a first. They'll tell you it's a first. It's the first time. Every day they got a first for something, right? First it was Kent Brantley. He was the first man. Then it was Nancy Wright Ebola, the first woman. And then they brought them over, the first man to land in Texas or Austin or wherever it was. Then it was the first woman to land in the United States with Ebola. I guess they'll be in the Guinness Book of World Records, right? And then, now you have the first person to have contracted Ebola on American soil. So listen into this propaganda piece and, gosh darn it, wouldn't you know it if one of our favorite colors doesn't make several appearances?
Let's talk about that breaking news out of Texas.
Let's talk about it.
Officials there have confirmed a second case of Ebola here in the U.S., and if confirmed by the CDC, here's what's important about this. It would be the first time someone had contracted the deadly virus inside the United States.
Here's what we're learning. The infected patient is a healthcare worker in Dallas who worked to treat Thomas Eric Duncan. Now, you know Duncan died Wednesday after contracting Ebola in Liberia.
Is that what you're telling us?
According to Texas health officials, the worker reported a low...
That is one fucking evil hospital. And the people that work in there that know about this are the biggest scumbags on the planet right now.
Low fever on Friday night, and at that point was isolated so they could do more testing. The hospital confirmed the preliminary test results overnight with this statement, quote, "We knew a second case could be a reality, and we've been preparing for this possibility. We are broadening our team in Texas, in Dallas, and working with extreme diligence to prevent further
No, I'm sure you are. I'm sure there'll be a third and a fourth and a fifth and a sixth and a few dozen more after that, and then popping up in every other city in the United States, and it'll all be fake. It will all be fake. Crisis actors need to get paid too. You know, there's a lot of crisis actors out there that need work, and you gotta get them on board. I mean, it's really important, is it not?
We've got with us David Sanders, Associate Professor, Biological Sciences at Purdue University. It's good to have you with us this morning as we try to understand this now first case contracted in the U.S.
You don't need to understand anything. You just need to read your teleprompter. It's not complicated. That's what prostitutes do.
So this Ebola virus. The question we've been trying to understand all morning is when likely this healthcare worker contracted this virus.
Whenever they say he did, and whenever they want him to say he did. Right?
From Thomas Eric Duncan, we don't have the answer yet.
You don't have the answer.
Understanding
I'm sure it's
the
written down
isolation environment, is it more likely that this was the first visit, the ambulance drive-in, that second check-in, or is there enough exposure during the isolation once he was positively diagnosed that he could have contracted it then?
One hopes that it's the former rather than the latter, that it wasn't after the containment was supposed to be in place. I don't know any more, have any information about it than you do. It would be very concerning if it were when the patient had been identified as an Ebola patient, that there was a breakdown. But this can happen. I mean, this is something that we have to be prepared for.
Yeah.
It's something that we discuss, and I think one thing that we have to be thinking about is that it may not be that every single hospital is in fact prepared for this. We may have to think about regional centers that are best prepared to deal with.
There you go. Oh yeah, there we go.
Patients. So I think that's something that we really have to take into consideration.
There you go. So you set up the regional centers, and guess what? Guess where the Ebola patients will appear? They'll appear at the regional centers, right? I wonder why. Because that's, I mean, it's not hard to tell crisis actors where to appear, right? And this is what they're doing. It's absolute insanity. Total programming. Now they're setting up the next stage. It's all happening, folks. And I just can't believe they get away with it. I guess they just have that much control that they can do it. I don't know. But we're trying our best here at Free Radio Revolution to expose this massive hoax. And all I can ask is you people help me by sharing these videos and posting them on social media. I don't do social media aside from YouTube and Twitter. I don't post on blogs, so if you're on blogs and you're on Facebook and all these things, you'd really help me out by posting these videos. Thank you so much for all your help. Have a wonderful day.